Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2022, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tim Zunker, and I'm the president with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Our hope is that these candidate interviews and profiles will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2022 elections. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to make casting your vote a priority. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org to find out information about the upcoming election. And now I'd like to introduce Chad Johnson, who is running for Shakopee School Board. Chad, thank you for joining us today, and please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me. My name is Chad Johnson. I moved with my wife, Holly, to Shakopee in 2006, mostly to be closer to work and also to start a family. We have two boys, an 8th grader in East Middle School and a 4th grader at Aspen Academy. So I went to Humboldt High School in St. Paul, which is very diverse, similar to Shakopee here. From there, I went to the University of St. Thomas, where I've got a bachelor degree in computer science. And I've worked in the last 20 plus years in IT, most of that time for a very large company headquartered in the Twin Cities. My work background, as I said, is IT. In the past few years, it's been skewed towards program management, so managing medium and large size budgets, and then more recently program management, where I had a $12 million budget portfolio. Still working on the same team, just shifted to a little bit more technical lately because that's what I like better. But in a nutshell, I can describe my work experience as managing large budgets, solving problems, and getting people to work together. As far as community engagement, I've done a lot of that through my kids' schools and their activities. So my wife is on the Red Oak PTO, so I have also volunteered with the Red Oak PTO with their student directory and some of their other activities in the school. I was also a Cub Scout den leader. Both of my sons were in Scouts, so I was a den leader and then the Pinewood Derby race director and then the committee chair. And then most recently, 2019 and 2020, I was a coach for a Lego Robotics League for 5th and 6th graders.
Great. Thank you, Chad. What inspired you to run for school board?
So honestly, I've been following local politics for quite a while, and the local, the Facebook groups and such, and some of the sentiment that's out there regarding our public institutions and our schools is quite frankly pretty frustrating to see. And so the way I decided to deal with that is by participating. Honestly, I think everyone should take a turn at participating. So now I kind of feel like it's my turn.
Great, thank you. We've seen the graduation rate for the Shakopee High School stay above the state average. What can the Shakopee School District do to not only maintain this level, but exceed it?
Sure. So, I mean, that's good news. We're above the state average for graduation rate. So I think when we're talking about improving the graduation rate, we have to focus on who is it that's not graduating, why are they not graduating, and then try to problem solve from there. So some of the things that we have in place now are, so starting at the lowest levels, we have like cultural liaisons in the schools for students in our community who, they might be new to schooling in the community, new to schooling in America, extend them a welcoming hand to make sure that they feel like they're part of the school, they're part of the community, they understand what's expected of them and how to be successful. From there, we have also in elementary school the Young Scholars Program that's aimed at kids who are from underrepresented backgrounds in high potential programs, giving them a high potential program. Starting in elementary, so that's going to give them a leg up for middle and high school. Pushing them to have be on a good pace for graduation. And then at the higher grade levels, we have the AVID program, where kids who are performing maybe at like low or middle tier, to give them some extra help, give them an extra push to make sure that they're on track to graduate, and if their path is to go to college, making sure that they're ready for that.
Great. Thank you, Chad. According to the Minnesota's North Star Accountability System, we have seen the number of students meeting standards in math, reading, and science drop from pre-pandemic numbers. What can the Shakopee School District do to bring those numbers back to pre-pandemic levels?
Sure. So the good news is, we're still above the state average in Shakopee. The state average dipped, national average dipped. It's really a global problem. COVID was hard for everybody. It was hard for our students in particular, in the context of this question. Shakopee is still doing well. I kind of think we just, thankfully the levy passed, and that's going to equip us to be, back where we need to be, to run the schools the way that we want to run them. And I think, given some kind of healing time, we'll see those numbers come back up. But as far as like giving an extra push, what can we do to give an extra push? We've got the Connect and Assess days at the beginning of the school year. So teachers can interact with the students, understand where they're at coming in, and then kind of tee up any sort of extra help that those students might need. There's also the multi-tiered support system for teachers, where there's a number of different tools that they can reach for different levels of support that different students need. So I think I'm really thankful that levy passed. I think without that levy, we'd be in deep trouble with those test scores.
Great. Thank you, Chad. And speaking of the levy, in 2021, voters approved an operating levy for the Shakopee School District. If elected, what are your priorities regarding the school district's budget?
So number one rule of budgeting is don't go over, right? We need to stay on budget. Of course, we want to get the most value out of that budget. The Shakopee community trusted the school to, with that money. And so we need to be good stewards of that. I'm a taxpayer myself. I want to get the most value for myself, my community, my kids. So some areas of focus for me, I'm glad we were able to restore the teachers, bring back the teachers that are the majority of the teachers that we lost. It would, that continued focus on the test scores and graduation rate, and especially achievement gap, would be great. I would like it if we could see some high potential opportunities in the lower grades. That's the main reason why my younger son isn't in Shakopee schools, because there's not enough of that opportunity there. So if we can do that, that would be great. And I think one of the areas of focus for the school board is bringing back rebuilding the unallocated fund, which is kind of the school board's, the school district's kind of safety net to fall back on if there's any unexpected budget changes from state funding, or the state fails to pass a budget. We dipped a lot into that during the Rod Thompson era, and now we need to work on building that back up.
Great, thank you. What has the existing school board done well, and where are opportunities for improvement?
Okay, so calling back again to the mess that Rod Thompson left us with, I think the school board has done a really good job pulling us out of that. Again, restoring that public trust where the community felt confident enough to trust the school again, to pass the levy this time after it failed previously. So they've done well there. Some things that they can improve upon is there's still calls for more transparency. And so I think we might help the community by doing, like, in my office, we refer to it as like voice of the customer. What is it you're happy with? What are you not happy with? These folks that are calling for transparency, what data are they getting? What are they not getting? What do they want to get? How do they want to get it? How often? Not everybody's on Facebook, so we can't just rely on that channel. We maybe need to email, maybe texts, maybe in-person meetings, maybe mailers. But to just kind of do that study of what is it that people want to know to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel that we're being transparent with them. And then the last thing I'll say on a challenge that we're going to face is the projected declining enrollment. I think that's in view, but we just got to make sure that we we're successful in solving for that.
Great, thank you. Now, if you'd like to give a 30-second closing statement or message to the voters.
Sure. So I would say first and foremost, what you can expect from me is honesty, and I'm not gonna honesty and forthrightness. So I'm gonna tell you everything I know. I don't have anything to hide. I'm also kind of by nature and by training a problem solver, and I'm not attached to where the solution comes from. I'm just attached to finding a solution. So let's put the facts on the table. Let's work together to find a reasonable, practical solution to whatever it is, the problem of the day that we're discussing, and then let's get to work on implementing it.
Great, thank you, Chad. As a reminder, the views expressed in these interviews are those of the candidates, not those of the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. The Chamber is sponsoring these events as a service to the community and has gone to great lengths to ensure the objectivity. The Chamber does not endorse any candidate, but seeks to provide you, the citizens and voters of Shakopee, with the information you need to make an informed choice. The Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau extends a sincere thank you to the candidates. We appreciate your time and your service to our community by running for office. You are performing an important service to us all. Again, thank you for joining us for this edition of Meet the Candidates 2022. Please join us September 29th at River Valley Church for our candidate forum. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org for more information. Thank you. Thank you, Chad.
Thanks.